Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Fritz Hamburg, who is the head baseball coach at St. Joseph's University. Of course, that's in Philadelphia. How's it going?
Good, Casey. Thanks. Things are getting close, so we're excited for the start of the season.
All right, let's talk about what it's been like so far for you guys. Overall, how are you guys looking so far as we start the season literally in the next couple weeks?
Well, we return all of our positional guys, our starters. So we've got a lot to look forward to that way. I think we had a really solid fall. It was interesting. Joe asked me the previous in our talk what it's like to coach a veteran team, and it's great because you're able to kind of dig deeper with the little pieces of the game, and there's an understanding there, as opposed to when they're young, you're focused on different things. So that part of it has been a lot of fun for the coaching staff, and we're certainly excited, and we have a lot of reason to, because we have so much back, and we've got some guys who had really solid years last year returning, and they're excited. They recognize that last year we accomplished our goal of making it to the A10 tournament, but the tournament didn't go the way we certainly had hoped. So we have a lot to prove.
So looking at kind of go around, let's talk about some of the guys coming back. Take me around the diamond, take me around and tell everybody who's going to be out there for you guys. Sure.
The returning group that started a good bit of the games last year will start. We returned our first team all region catcher, Andrew Cassetti. We're excited. He's back. Wasn't sure that he would be. Thought he might go in the draft last year, but he's really, since returning to campus this fall, his game has really taken off. At first base, we've got Brandon Drapeau, who kind of split time with Luke Zimmerman. Luke is moving a little bit more focus on the mound. But Brandon did a nice job for us at first, and will hit probably middle to 6 or 7 in the lineup. And he's got some power. He's a big kid. So it's great that we return the reps there. In the middle, we've got Liam Bendo, who's a graduate student and has started for us for this will probably be his 4th out of 5 years that he started for us. Hit 299 last year. He'll probably hit 6 or 7, and is a very good contact guy, moves the ball around the yard well. Shortstop is Luca Trigiani. Luca started the bulk of the games for us last year as a sophomore. Did a good job for us. I think Max Hittman behind him. Those two guys are going to go a little bit back and forth. They're both pretty talented guys. And then at third base, we returned Nate Thomas, who Nate led us in doubles, home runs, and RBIs last year, and had some big timely home runs for us, and has been a starting third baseman since he got here. In left field, we got Brett Callahan, who hit kind of all over. He hit in the top of the order. We dropped him at some. He's a tremendous athlete. He's got really, really good bat speed. First at bat last year was an opposite field home run as a freshman. So he can run. He led us in stolen bags last year. So he's back. Center fielder is Brendan Hewitt, who was first team all A10 center fielder last year, who hit 375. And then in right, we have Jake Arts, who hit leadoff for a good bit of the year, ended up getting hurt. And then we had Ryan Piccolo, who jumped in there, and unfortunately Ryan sustained an injury, and I doubt we're going to see much of him this year. But having Jake back, and Jake was our starting right fielder, and he, like I said, he's a table setter for us. And then the DH kind of will be filled in with whoever's swinging it. We've got some options that way as well. So I think between the lineup and then Cam Walker backs up at second base, he's a really pesky. He's had great at bats so far this spring. He's the same type of guy as a table setter. Played shortstop on the state championship team his senior year in high school out at Cannon McMillan High School in Pittsburgh. And then Conlon Wall's a guy who's in center field. He played for Sodderton High School. He won that was part of a state championship team that his fall was off the charts. I mean, this guy covers ground like I haven't seen in a while. He can really, really fly. So we've got some great options. We're excited positionally.
Yeah. So let's talk about the pitching staff now. Where are we at in that in terms of that?
So we lost Hayden Sieg, who was his eligibility was up, and he signed with the Angels as a free agent. And we lost Lucas Rollins, who was a 6-year senior, and those two guys, along with Matt Kennedy, who was the one guy that we lost in the portal last year. Those three guys pitched some substantial innings, and they're gone. But we returned Ian McCall, who was our number one starter last year. He's a 6th-year guy. Luke Smith, who he only had 2 starts, but really started to pitch really well for us on the back third of the season. And this is really, he's a senior academically, but this has really kind of been his first year where he's really healthy. And he's had a really good preseason. Got Patrick Shearer, who's a guy that didn't pitch a lot for us last year. He's out of Dallas, but he pitched in the Great Lakes League this summer as a starter and really got some quality innings. So he's going to be in the mix. And then we actually got a transfer in from UNC Wilmington, Michael Piccola, who's Ryan's brother. He's done a nice job. We have a lot of depth. We just don't have, I wouldn't say we have the traditional starting 3. So I think it's going to be a matter of we've got more velo than we've ever had. We've got guys that are 90, 91 to 94, 95. But the biggest thing is that they command the zone. Their strike percentage is high, and we keep the walks and hit by pitches down, because I think if we do that, the offense is strong enough. I don't know that there's going to be an offensive group in the league that's going to be any better than ours.
So going into this year, looking at where the Atlantic 10 is right now in terms of baseball, who do you think's gonna where do you think the conference is at in terms of baseball, and who do you think is going to be really kind of strong in the conference this year?
Casey, it's an interesting question. We last year with COVID, we ended up going into divisions, and so we didn't see any of the teams in the South, other than we played kind of a non-conference series against George Washington, and they had a really solid year. They got swept the last weekend by Dayton, which I think knocked them out of the playoffs. VCU is going to be strong. I mean, VCU is always strong, and we would expect that. Dayton has started to emerge a little bit. Rhode Island has a consistent, they're consistently in the mix. Fordham has certainly been there recently. They constantly have very good pitching, and Davidson has been. Last year, I think they had a little hiccup, but honestly, and I certainly think, I think I'm going to say that they may underestimate us a little bit. So I think it's wide open for a handful of teams. St. Louis had a down year, but St. Louis is perennially in the mix. And that's one of the great things about the conference is the parity. St. Louis and VCU have dominated the league with respect to winning the regular season championship. But there's a lot of teams that have come out of that tournament that haven't won the regular season championship to go on to the NCAA tournament. And so it's a really interesting league. I've been in this. This is my 14th year, and seen a lot of different things. It's not a very, I wouldn't say it's a top heavy league. It just varies up year to year. Mason's been good at times. They've struggled a little bit lately, but who knows? They may, we just haven't seen their guys and they haven't seen ours. So it's what makes it's going to be interesting this year.
Yeah. So what do you guys need to do to really kind of get to where you need to go and really stand out in the A10? What's like the biggest key, or maybe something you guys need to, what's like one thing you guys need to work on really to get to where you need to go?
I think it's all going to hang on our pitching. If we pitch, I think we're going to have a great shot to make a run and playing there the final day. And that's the biggest thing. Like I said, I mean, our offense, our lineup is really strong, and it's athletic, and we can run and we hit for power. It comes down to our pitchers getting our defense off the field, because the more time we spend hitting, and I think everybody knows the more time you spend in the dugout focusing on the offense, you're in a much better position. And we have experience, but we also have some inexperience, and we have some guys that are banged up a little bit right now that I think guys that have pitched, and we're looking forward to them getting back. But the early part of the season, it'll give some of these other guys an opportunity to show what they can do, because we need all hands on deck.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. Good luck to you guys this season.
Casey, thanks very much for asking me to come on, and we're excited about the season. And again, thanks for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, no problem.